Oh boy, so Jagex has just released an incredibly controversial survey to a handful of players that is related to membership pricing and bonds and quite a few other things that they're labeling as features, but yeah, we just have to take a look at this. Now, this was only sent out to a handful of players, but of course it was posted onto Reddit almost immediately, and they're proposing a bunch of different combinations and permutations of pricing, features, and limitations to see what players would be acceptable losing or paying more for. Now, yes, you could argue that Jagex is not expecting some of the more egregious examples to fly by, but we need to understand that the people at Jagex in charge of making as much profit from the company as possible would love to charge as much as humanly possible for membership. And add a little more context, let's just remember that there was a membership increase in August, and it was a significant one as well. And a base cost for membership for Old School and RS3 is $13.99 a month. So let's have a look at some of the options that they're proposing. Now, the first one is membership at $10.99 a month, which appears to be cheaper than what we're paying now, but it would only include Old School RuneScape or RuneScape 3, so you wouldn't get both of them. Personally, I actually don't mind this. I think most players don't play both games, so I actually don't think this is a terrible option. And that's kind of the problem. Not every idea here is absolutely terrible, but the pricing is really going to dictate whether it's worth it. But in this case, that's actually a pretty good option for a lot of people. Okay, so this next one here, once again, only includes Old School RuneScape or RuneScape 3, so you'd only get one of them. It's more expensive, but would include improved data access and solutions. Now, what does that mean? Well, they had accompanying information videos, and essentially it means getting access to their API, so you can make custom plugins or custom apps or websites. But essentially, for the vast majority of people, you probably won't want this. Okay, next option, 2 member characters. Now, one of the actual more reasonable features they offer here is having access to multiple characters under one subscription, assuming the price makes sense. Now, I think 2 member characters is the only subscription model that actually could work, because there is a handful of players that have 2 accounts, but they're also offering packages for 4 characters and even 8 characters. As a content creator, I don't even have 8 paid characters. That's just absolutely insane. 4 is already stretching it. I think barely any regular players have 4 accounts. So really only 2 membership characters make sense, and they're also going to be offering character name reservations and pause membership options. The character name reservation would just allow you to hard reserve your name to your Jagex account, so no one would ever be able to take it when you transfer it or anything like that. It'd be $20 a month for 2 characters, but you'd only be able to play on one of the games, Old School or RuneScape 3. Oh god, this next one though is bonkers. $32 a month? Okay, let's see what Jagex is bequeathing us with this. 2 member characters, fine, no one has more than 2 anyway. Character name reservations, we already talked about that. Pre-verified account recovery, now this would be essentially you could send in a piece of ID to have a real piece connecting your account to yourself, making it nearly impossible for someone else to recover your account. That should just be a feature. Jagex should just use the membership money to make that as an option for anybody. I just don't see why you need to charge monthly for something you really only need to set up once. And a complimentary bond. I hate this so much when they say it comes with a free bond. No, it doesn't. You're paying $32 a month. They priced in the cost of the bond. You get one a month is what they say, but what are you really getting here as far as features? Everyone would use 2 member characters, what, $5 for a bond every month, and there's a few other things that probably should just be included as base features and membership for $32. That one is a complete ripoff. Okay, one of the most controversial parts are limitations. Now this would be things like ads that would actually lower your membership cost. So once again, this one would be just for either RuneScape or RuneScape 3, not both, and you have to watch some sort of ad at some point for $10.99 a month. This would really depend on how intrusive they are. If they're the classic Old School ad where you just watch it in the top browser or just before you log in, sure, but it leaves a bad taste in my mouth to have ads just lurking around in a game you're already paying monthly for. Okay, next one here, $17.49 a month for 4 member characters. And this would be for both RuneScape 3 and Old School. For me, that would be great. I mean, I could see some people, I guess, taking advantage of this. The pricing seems better, sure. Okay, but then another one, would you pay $5 more a month, so $22.50 a month, to have essentially the same thing, a complimentary bond, and of course, additional account security features. Now this would include things like passkeys and time-based one-time logins. It should just be a feature. A lot of these things just feel bad to charge extra for. So a great example of that is this next one, $32 a month, 8 member characters, name reservations, and pause membership options, but this gem in the middle, enhanced player support, which I don't think anyone has any confidence that even if you did pay for this, you would get a better support experience. Even in the quick video teaser, they don't really have much to offer. They say tailored features such as expand in language and time zone availability. That's worth $32 a month? I don't think so. That's insane. Okay, another limitation that really confuses me is you could pay less to have a shorter AFK time, so you get logged out quicker. I don't really understand why this would even be a benefit, like unless they're reducing the server load or something. So this would be 1 member character on Old School or RuneScape 3 for $10.99 a month with a shorter AFK time. Are we talking 5 minutes here, 1 minute? I don't really know how I feel about that one in particular. The same features, but at different pricing. So we have 1 character in Old School or RS3 for $17.50 a month, so $4 more than we pay now. Now another feature they could offer is enhanced display names, which would essentially be when you hover over another character, instead of showing just the combat level, you could have it display your total level instead, which I think is not a great idea because knowing people's combat level is actually important. You could have custom symbols like the Infernal Cape if you've done the Inferno, bolder names or different colors. I honestly I don't want this. Just more visual clutter, it's just too inconsistent. So for me, this is just a negative feature anyway. Now, one other thing they mention is getting access to specialized member worlds. This could be worlds with different player caps, players that didn't have a ban history. I guess if they made it expensive enough, the only benefit I could see is maybe there wouldn't be bots in those worlds, but you're kind of just paying to have less resource scarcity. Like, are these bigger world caps or smaller? I just don't like it, honestly. Another limitation that they could offer is mobile-only access, so you can only play from your phone for $10.99 a month, which, again, if it's an option, I don't really hate this necessarily. At least this one kind of makes sense. People who are only going to play on their phone, sure, maybe give them a discount. It doesn't really make any sense to me, though. They would probably just have to put more work into making this a limitation. It just seems unnecessary. You can already play on both now, so it just feels bad to remove something. Even if there is a lower price, it's just clunky. And no matter what, there's never really a reason to pay this much a month, even though this is the same thing only for $25 a month. Nobody has 8 characters. Like, it just doesn't matter, and they know that. There really aren't that many options here for just having 2 characters. Now, one other thing that gets lumped in here is community worlds. Now, that would be essentially Project Xanaris. So you get access to play on community worlds. It did not really suggest you'd be able to host a community world. And in my head, I didn't even really consider you might have to pay to play a community world. I thought you just have to pay to host it. So there's another lever they could use to try to gouge more membership money. Honestly, the most reasonable thing in this entire survey comes at the end, and it's just a very short little slide here. Would you pay an extra $3.49 a month for an additional character? Hell yes, I would. That's so much better. I would definitely do this. Just add on a second character for $3.49 instead of another $13. That definitely makes sense. So that is the survey, and it definitely leaves me with a bad feeling. And there's a couple reasons why. For one, the pricing of everything is almost across all of their suggestions worse than what you'd probably experience now. There are some outliers that actually seem like they would be better value. Are they going to pick those though? I don't know. The second one is a lot of the limitations just feel like they're making your membership experience shittier just so they can charge you a little bit less. That, even if you're paying less, still feels kind of bad. And 3, a lot of the features they're offering feels like they should just be base features that everyone should have access to, like better player support, account recovery options, character name transfers. Why do you have to pay more for those features? So I definitely worry that they've decided that, sure, we're going to do a membership model for Old School. Old School is way more popular, but we are going to make the most egregious, blood-sucking membership options possible as fast as possible to increase our revenue. Because RS3, maybe they've finally hit the cap on how much blood they can suck from the whales. In the end, though, we do have a choice. Jagex has proposed very controversial things in the past and have backed up on them completely, or at least somewhat. But anyway, let me know what you guys think. Thanks for watching as always, guys, and I'll see you next time.